What's the hardest thing about being an entrepreneur?
Time management. I was going to say money again.
Money and time management.
Initially, these hours before I'm going to bed, I want to make more music. I want to keep going. And then I'll get to play FIFA in my spare time, which will be beautiful.
FIFA 19, right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
20. Wait, 20.
I'm hardcore FIFA 12 and I'll never move on.
Yeah, that analog thing, you could do a lot.
Oh, man.
Believing in yourself and starting.
The patience.
Being responsible for everything.
The hardest thing is not being able to control everything.
I think it's the loneliness.
Being by yourself, working by yourself.
Understanding their own ego.
Having to create your own lane.
Let it go.
Delayed gratification.
Sacrifice. That is the hardest thing.
Financial management.
Invoices. Waiting for invoices to clear is very jarring. You have to know how to manage your money.
I love to be in creative brainstorming sessions. Anything to do creativity and innovation, stuff like that, I'm good with. But when it comes down to literal logistics of business management and finance management, that's where my flaws are. And this is what I've learned over the years. I need to focus more on this area, management, finance management. Otherwise, you'll only go so far if you can't, even if you're the most talented.
I think setting milestones and keeping to deadlines and paying yourself first, I think is quite difficult. And making sure that you're budgeting for your time.
As I said, you can only put in so much work, so much time, so much energy, and still not get a result, and that's really hard to take. And then normally the way I deal with it is I'll just sulk for ages. I'll sulk for a bit that it hasn't worked out. I'll probably get quite low for a few months, as I said earlier.
I think it's just planning, really. It's very volatile. Thing that you're going into is different from a 9 to 5. You don't know how you're going to plan the next 6 months. You don't know how many clients you're going to obtain.
You know, you have a plan like next year, I'm going to be here, I'm going to be in that place. And the year passes and you're not there. And it's just be patient. So I think just holding on and believing is...
When there's days where you don't feel like doing it, you don't feel like getting up, you got to get up. It's what is motivating you and what's that drive? Sometimes that drive goes or that fire goes. And sometimes with fire, some people get gassed and they're on it for 2-3 days and then the fire goes. You have to find a way to keep that fire burning.
So that there's times where obviously your friends may be prospering, doing their thing and, just having a good time. And meanwhile, you don't have the money, do you know what I mean? Because you're putting all your money into your business and trying to get that off the ground. So that delayed gratification aspect can be a challenge at times. And you have to be someone who's quite strong-headed, do you know what I mean? So many people could be saying no, and you got to constantly see the yeses in the midst of that. So that can be a challenge.
In our case, sadly, we had to sacrifice friends, we had to push away a few friends, all friends, to be honest, we've got no friends. To be honest, we've got no friends at all. They're all gone, I lost my last friend a few weeks ago. He just stopped contacting me, but yeah. And my cousins who I used to, literally meet almost every week, I haven't met them in almost a year, and they only live 10 minutes from my house. I haven't seen them in a year. It's just and you don't, that's the sad thing about when you're doing this, you don't notice time. Time just goes.
I think that's the hardest part. When business is going well, it's very easy for your ego to take over saying it's all my work, it's all because of me. Actually, it's not all because of you. You may be the impetus for it, but it's when people react to you. Remember, no one owes you anything. It's your suppliers, it's your accountant, your lawyers, your employees. They help you.
The fact of that you need to trust someone else, they will deliver your values, your vision, and understanding that you are unique. Never ever someone will do something like you. It could be very similar, an approximation, and the fact of letting go, because I'm quite perfectionist, was difficult.
Hardest thing about being an entrepreneur is uncertainty.
The uncertainty.
Sometimes I dream of having a job. People who have a job dream of being, owning their own business, but sometimes I dream of having a job. Just going to work and then just forgetting about it, going home and just going to sleep. That is a dream.
There are certain things that you can have in place where you create predictable results for your business, but ultimately it's kind of like no one's there to cushion your fall. No one is there to brace the impact for you. I think it's the fact that you're always at the forefront of your own business, and that means that you're vulnerable to so many other things outside of your control.
Let's be honest, you're money. Because one minute you're super rich and you can help everybody and you can say, hey, drinks are on me. And then another day it's like, actually, can I have a dinner at your house because I've got no money? Could you feed me? Could you sponsor me, please? So yeah, it's just getting the cash flow because, as you know, one minute you're up, you're getting all the work under the sun, and then another time there's nothing, there's no calls.
You have to do the same things every day. You have to turn up and show up. Everybody wants you to be on every single day, and some days you're not on.
I think we have some great highs and some challenging times, I like to put. I think that's it. We're not in a space where we constantly know this is going to happen for us.
I think it's getting used to the idea that failing is actually a fantastic experience, and you need to fall in love with trying shit and it not working, and literally not caring, being like, cool, what else can I fuck up? Can I swear on this? Okay.
The feeling like that you're the only one in that spot, in that space, and until you get, I'm going to say the old thing, until you get that support network around you, it's going to continue to be lonely.
If I think back about the HR team that I was in, there's always somebody that you can go and have a conversation with. Now, I do have a coaching buddy, which is really useful because I phone him up once a week. We have a two-way conversation where he would talk to me about his clients, and because it's about confidentiality as well. So you can't just discuss it with your friends and family.
It's weird. So even if you have friends and that are entrepreneurs, you all doing different journeys. So you're still alone. If you have co-founders, it's weird. It's like you don't want to give that burden to them, so you just keep that yourself.
Definitely finding a reliable, dedicated team. That's probably the most difficult thing I found about finding a really good team that you can just delegate and stuff is done on time.
Getting the right team that is aligned with your vision and is on the same page with what you want to achieve. I think people are key, in your business.
Some of the hardships are you don't get the support that you need unless you surround yourself with other entrepreneurs. Another thing is sometimes if you're trying to start a business, some startup costs and you have to hustle and grind. So you could be working in any other you could be working in retail or food or anything just to build up the money for capital. And deep down, although you don't like the situation that you're in right now, you're doing it and you're grinding through the process because ultimately you're trying to achieve your goal.
I think the hardest thing is keeping that vision in mind, and remembering why you started, even when all the different elements come in to kind of stop you from doing that. But I know that in the small little wins and the small milestones that I've had in comparison to the big journey, I'm definitely on the right path.
Trusting and knowing that what you're doing is the right thing, and that you started the journey for a reason.
If you really have a reason of why you're doing this, then you'll be willing to step into that leadership role and not wanting to hide behind anyone else, because these rewards and these failures are your own, but it makes you stronger.
I always say that when you're a true leader, you have to have this gift to take yourself out of the details, see the whole picture, the global picture, and the direction. So when you dig back into the details, you lead the people behind you towards that direction. But sometimes even you take yourself out of these details, you can't see that direction, and then you start doubting yourself. But actually, instead of doubting, just trust that this is the direction and it's the right path.
95% of getting started is psychological. The other 5% is doing it. So get your top 2 inches working, believe in yourself, and then go and do it. Don't be scared. Go and do it. Have a go. Believe in yourself.
What's been your most difficult customer or client to do?
I'm only going to speak on it a little bit in case they watch it and they guess that it's them.